That's really the investment banker mindset.
Okay.
Because how much money does an investment banker use of their own money?
Zero.
Zero. They're in this world of abundance. Okay. So when you align yourself with people who want you, there's this pent up demand for you.
You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Hello, great state of Arizona and AZREIA members. Welcome to another episode of the AZREIA Show. And on today, we have a very exciting guest that we want to present to you. But before we do that, we always want to welcome you to come to our office, go to our website, AZREIA.org, become more familiar with AZREIA. If you haven't become a member, we don't know what you're waiting for. It's time for you to take the jump and become a member. So without further delay, we want to introduce you and welcome our Executive Director, Mike Delpreet. Mike, how you doing today?
Great, man. I am full of energy. Is that better? I got the coffee.
sounds a little bit better.
All right, I'm working on it. It's ongoing, Joe.
You guys know it's ongoing, but by the time we get 10, 15 minutes in, it's no stopping him. He drops dimes and gems all the time. So we have Al Williamson here today, and Al Williamson is specialized in extended stay rentals. So he owns a plethora of rentals, and he want to introduce that concept to you on today. So Al, how are you doing today?
Good. Hey, thanks for having me here. I'm so honored.
Love it.
All right. So welcome to the show. Welcome to AZREIA. We're going to definitely get you in front of everybody here pretty soon. But man, kind of give us your background. How did you get started in real estate, first off?
Well, it all started at a church picnic. And I was getting ready to get married, and this older fellow pulled me over. And he said, "You should think about a duplex instead of getting into a house. You guys should think about getting a duplex and living in one side of it and renting out the other." So I thought that was a cool idea. This is back in '96. And
wow,
I started reading through the library, started going from one side, just reading about real estate. And I'm like, I could do these numbers. This sounds great. I like this no money down thing back in 1996. And I ended up talking my bride into a threeplex. And that was 26 years ago. Our anniversary is tomorrow, 26.
Oh, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So I pushed her into one of the smaller units of the of the threeplex, and that was good. We started working on it, but it was definitely helping us live with a low overhead, and that was great. Yeah, it was great. So
You're saying you were house hacking before house hacking was invented?
That's right. That is right. 96. And what's cool is it was good the first year. She was okay with it. And then it came to the third year and fourth year, she was like, had it. But at that time, the whole thing quadrupled in value. So I was a hero then.
There you go. What state was this in?
This is in Sacramento, California.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised she made it to year 3 and 4. Normally after year 1, the wife is like, okay, I need the house with the picket fence, the dog, and everything like that.
That's it. I was milking that honeymoon period.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really good, because a lot of people get introduced to real estate in different ways. So just imagine if you didn't have that guy at that church picnic whisper that in your ear.
That's amazing.
I know. That would put me on a different path altogether. I'd probably still be working for the man right now.
So you quadrupled in price, and what was the next decision? What'd you guys do?
Well, we did. We in between, we bought a house, and then we bought an 8-unit building. This is in 2002.
Okay.
So we took that threeplex, and we did a 1031 exchange into one of those. You guys remember those tenant in common? You can get like a fractional interest. We had turned it into 3% interest. Yeah, so that turned out really well until it didn't. But that was what we did, and it was great for 10 years, and then it kind of dissolved. But between then, we bought this 8-unit building that was in a rough neighborhood. One reason that threeplex quadrupled, it was because there was a revitalization effort going on in Sacramento, this midtown Sacramento. So it was kind of rough, but then a lot of artsy people came in and coffee shops and all those things came in. It was a focus interest of Sacramento. It's their agenda to make the area nicer. So that's what happened. So we said, hey, let's get in at the beginning of it on the next one. So we went into this inner city area where I felt I could have a little influence. People, there was heavily rentals, and I got the most problematic unit, 8-unit complex, the biggest, most problematic place on that block. That's what I bought. And then,
wow,
yeah, offered everyone $500 to move out in 30 days and cleared out the buildings, except for one person. There was one straggler, but we got her out. But everyone was very happy with that. It was before Cash for Keys was named. It was
okay.
it was $500
Look at
so
you.
they could have a security deposit. They couldn't move. If I had tried to evict them, they still couldn't move because they need that chunk of money for a security deposit and to move. So that was the issue.
Look
so I gave them
at you, Al. You're definitely an innovator. You started with house hacking, you innovated with Cash for Keys. So let's talk briefly about that term, because that's not always something easy to do. Once you buy a unit and it's already tenanted, that can be kind of problematic doing that turn. So how receptive was everybody to the $500 Cash for Keys?
Well, the landscape was, no one wanted to be there. The place was completely neglected and had some bug issues and things like that. And there was nothing positive going on there. There was like sometimes 7 people in a 1-bedroom unit and things like that. So they were stuck, and it was a crime-ridden area. So I came along, gave them a chance for a fresh start. I kind of approached it that way, as a fresh start. And they knew I needed to go into those units and fix them, because there's all kinds of city complaints against the title. There was complaints against it for housing ordinance. It was not a safe place to live. So I used that. Hey, I have to clean it up. That's part of the deal of buying the place. And I took care of them. And we even brought them boxes and rental leads. There's another thing.
Oh, wow.
They didn't have computers back then. You can just jump on internet and do Craigslist back then if you had a computer.
Right. Not everybody being in that area, not everybody was privy to the internet and having computers.
Right.
So you did the turn. What all did you need to do to the building? Because you said it was in a rough area.
Yeah,
it was rough.
It was first thing. It was clearing out it was the gang headquarters for the Bloods.
Wow. Okay.
That was it. And there was always, once we got those folks out, the neighbors just came and thanked me for a night without gunfire.
Wow.
So how did you get the Bloods out? What did you do?
It was the $500.
Okay. I thought you had to call the Crips.
No. No, I just walked in there and I was just respectful to them, and it helps being African American. I was playing that to my strengths.
Advantage. Yep.
Yeah, and just respectful, and just moved them on out.
Awesome, man. So now you're at a 4-plex, an 8-unit, and a single-family house.
Yes, that's where we were. And my focus has always been not the number of units you have, but making them uber profitable. That's always been my thing. Is if I could just get around with just one rental that covered everything, that would be great. So this 8-unit was it, and just fixing things, going through and being careful and checking wiring. We had great bones, really good bones. This was built in '96, the unit. So it has issues, but it had some really good bones, and it was really well placed too. The location of it was really, really good. That's what happened, and it was my thing.
Okay. Was that just on an MLS, or did you do anything creative to find that deal?
It stayed on the MLS for about a year. The guy had a hard time.
Oh, wow.
No one wanted it. It was just it was plagued with so many issues. It'd go on and off, and it was being held for me. I was a perfect guy. It and me were meant to be. So it was great. And we still hold on to that property, 20 years later. We still
Wow.
have that, and it's still the backbone for a lot of our financial freedom, replacing my engineering salary. So we love
Okay,
it
great,
and love the people in it, and they appreciate us too. So it's
So,
a good thing.
so the 8 unit or all 12?
No, the 8 unit.
So right there, man, this, if you're listening, an 8 unit building can replace your income.
That's right.
That's amazing, man. It's that simple. You don't have to have the fancy cars, the 500 units, all that nonsense. Just owning one little building will change your life. Love
Now
it.
let me make sure I frame that right, because you're saying it right. It covered my expenses.
Yeah.
I wasn't a baller.
You got it on
It
the
covered
record.
my expenses.
right.
So that's the thing. It allowed me to have a lifestyle of whatever I could build on top of that. I don't have to go to the man. I don't have to listen to a boss yell at me. I don't have to account for every 50. As an engineering consultant, you have to you charge a project number for every half hour of your time. You got to charge a project number too. What are you working on?
Right.
I didn't have to do that anymore. So
Wow.
that's
All
what
right.
it gave me. Just that
Well,
breaking even was great.
Well, that's good. I mean, as you can see, it only took a couple of decisions for you to make in order to get to that point. Like Mike was saying, a lot of people think, well, I have to have amassed this huge portfolio. For you, it was just looking at, okay, what is my current financial outline? What do I need to cover
Right.
that outline? Let's
Right.
start there, and then we can build on top of that.
That's it.
So you got the total 12 units. How was it now placing tenants in those units? Because I can guarantee that people knew that 8 unit. It was like,
Yes.
no, this is a dump, I'm not living there.
Yes.
So what was that transition like?
And that's a great question. So once we got it cleared out and safe and looking pretty good, we started with a nonprofit took over the whole building. I was able to rent it to them for 1 year. It was a transitional house. They were the clean and sober living. So that really stabilized it. They had the resources to make sure nothing exotic happened on that unit. So it's well controlled by one entity. That gave me enough time to break the cycle, because people still coming to that place to do their shopping, they're looking for their supplies, and we had to break that cycle.
Right.
So that gave me that year was perfect. It was a perfect thing at the perfect time for the perfect length of time. Because afterwards, then you try to help get new information out so people can make a new decision about your area and about your location. So by then, that gave me time get people's phone numbers from the neighbors. Well, first of all, I was kind of a hero, because
Right.
I got rid of a lot of the things that was going on in the block. And
the gangs and the drugs.
Yeah, there's still other issues, but I had the phone numbers of the other landlords. So I was communicating to them, and there is something called National Night Out, which is the first Tuesday in August every year. And it's kind of a national thing. It's run by the Sheriff's Department, where you're encouraged to have a block party, just to increase neighborhood cohesiveness. And we led that. We organized that, and we would have that block party. We have the police come through, the fire department come through, bounce houses. We placed the bounce house in front of the drug dealer's home. So we had lots of activity, knew we were not scared, and we were communicating. And when you start communicating in inner city, it breaks that, hey, don't snitch, allows that whole don't snitch mentality, a lot of the bad stuff that happens. Once you start communicating, it makes it a bad environment to do your dirt, so people move.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you, Al, about the nonprofit, because that kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about, the extended stay. So you got how did you find a nonprofit, and did they do the renovations to your building, or you did the renovation? Because I know when you work with some nonprofits and they have the city contracts or the government contracts, they have some money allotted for renovation. So how did all of that transpire?
So they came in just as I had cleaned up the place. They didn't do any renovations.
Okay.
They just brought the clientele, and they brought some management and some structure to the place, and also an in-house manager. So we had someone on site that was watching the place, living there and watching it and reporting out. about what's going on. So that was critical, that piece. That's what we needed, was
Okay.
just to break that cycle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So were they paying per bed, or were they paying just per unit?
Per unit. Yeah, we had some flat fee. Yeah. So it was good. I wasn't making a lot of money, but it's just what I needed. Yeah.
Right, to stabilize the building.
Right.
Okay.
So
Right.
is that what sparked the whole extended stay world for you?
No.
No.
Okay. Fast forward into the future.
Okay.
Yep.
It was a lot of this neighborhood development stuff. It turns out that it's more profitable to communicate with your neighbors and to make your block a safer neighborhood than it is to do a bathroom renovation, because it doesn't cost you anything to communicate and exercise some leadership. So through that process, the neighborhood got better, and I could start attracting people from the local medical center over. So I got in 2014 is when I landed my first check with the local medical center that was just up the street. It was within a mile away.
Okay.
They needed a place for their interns to come for 6 months. So I gave them a furnished place, and I was booking directly with the medical center. It was great because when I was going to college, I was writing checks to tuition to the regents of the University of California. And now I start getting checks from the regents of the University of California. I just love that.
It's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was great. That was really, really great. That was great. So that's when it started.
So you just build up this relationship, or you just walked in the hospital and it's like, hey, I got these units and looking for tenants?
So I was on they have a board, housing board back then for medical students that come
For rentals.
for rotation. They stay 1 month at a time. So I was involved in that, and I was getting good reviews, and I was trying to make inroads. Like, I didn't know exactly how to do it, but I was also on the neighborhood business association board. So I would rub elbows with people from the medical center. So all those things, I was expressing my intent, and I was doing what I could, and serendipity showed up, and I got a call from them. So, and then I accommodated them. They were having a hard time finding a landlord willing to take them for just 6 months at a time.
Wow. So you didn't go out and buy a course and learn all this. You just started doing it.
There was no courses out there
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how I did it. And then it was like, well, what am I going to do the other 6 months? And I had already, I was still a traveling engineer. I was still someone who was an essential worker in need of extended stay rentals myself, as I built bridges and oversee construction. So I had already discovered Airbnb back in 2011 when I was in San Francisco, and it was very bed and breakfasty like then. It was a lot of come and eat dinner with our family type of thing, and until 2015. And then 2015 happened. That's when Business Travel Ready came out with Airbnb, and they said, if you have a unit that is dedicated to business travelers that you don't live in, then we will promote you to business travelers. So that happened in 2015, and that lined up with my request from the medical center to have a place for 6 months. So it all came together. So I was like, well, the other 6 months I can just do Business Travel Ready with Airbnb, and let me try that out.
Wow.
So that's how that whole experiment rolled out.
Okay. Well, let's take a brief break here, word from my sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to dig into this even further in regards to extended stay.
Are your real estate dreams on hold? With work, kids, everything else going on, time is limited. Most days you feel like the world's on your shoulders. You might even say to yourself, if I just had someone to lean on and push me in the right direction, I know things would happen quicker. Well, then you need to check out the Deal Finders Club, a community of investors eager to close more deals, sign more contracts, and just get ahead in life. The DFC provides weekly coaching, thriving online community, and all the education you need to be confident. DFC is your fastest path to closing more deals. To learn more, head over to AZDFC.com. That's AZDFC.com.
All right, guys, and we're back. And Mike, before we left during our break, you had a great question for Al. Let's kind of share what that was and kind of what we're talking about as far as extended stays?
Really, what I was thinking was we got a good idea of his background and where he came from and how he was doing the extended stays kind of naturally. But so my question is, Al, so what is it that you do? What does your business look like now? What is extended stay, or just tell us about your operation?
All right. So extended stay means that is whatever the ordinance says that short-term rentals are, is the opposite. So in Phoenix, your codes say that anything 30 days and less is considered short-term rentals. So I pick up 31 days and longer. So that's an extended stay. It's usually old landlords would call it month-to-month rentals.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
There you go.
Month-to-month rentals. And when you package yourself that way, insurance companies know what you're doing, and other service providers know what you're doing. They're familiar with it. It's a very old thing that now gets into the hospitality industry, so we can compete directly against those extended stay hotels that you guys have so many of them in Phoenix.
Yep.
So that's the whole thing about it. And that's exactly who we go after, is other essential workers such as myself, IT professionals, engineers, nurses, doctors, construction crews, all those types of folks come through, as well as the golf people setting up for golf tournaments and things like that.
Okay.
All those crews and people who need longer term stays, even a seasonal actor who's going to be in town for a season, who's going to be in for three months, needs an extended stay place. So you get those types of folks the people I prefer the most are the ones who are coming in with a housing allowance from their employer.
Okay.
Those are my favorite types. I call that workforce rentals when it's that way.
Gotcha.
That's my ideal person.
So Al, let me ask you this. So you have the property set up as an extended stay, you have it furnished, everything like that. Where do you market to find the extended stint, the people that need your services?
And that's a great question. So the answer is that let me bring you in this way. The answer is that you want to be findable. People, when they're looking for an extended stay, they start at Google.
Oh,
so that
okay.
means you really need a Google strategy, and you need everything related to that. You need your website. You want to build up backlinks so that you have your own thing. In addition to that, that's your primary thing, is to become findable to people. That's your main objective. You can supplement that as I call it a safety net, with Airbnb and VRBO, those other travel agencies should supplement your business, but you should not be overly reliant on those businesses. So that's the big difference between the way I come at it with as a housing solutions provider versus an Airbnb host is completely different.
So true.
Okay.
And do you notice when it comes to it seems like the short-term rental is more appealing or more accepted maybe in communities or the city versus short Airbnb style?
Right. These extended stays are much more accepted. It brings in a completely different audience. It brings in the traveler, not the tourist. And you guys get quite a few tourists, and that really helps your economy. Absolutely. I mean, you can make a great business off of tourists. It has a lot of churn, and if you can do that well, if you like that type of thing, people moving in and out, and then great. That's important to an economy. But so are travelers who come in for an extended period of time, and they feel like they want to be part of the community more so. And they're the ones who are looking to get that full experience. They want to know where the best local coffee shop to them is. They want to become a local. That's with different things.
I love what you say. We bring in the travelers, not the tourists.
Right. I cater to travelers, not tourists.
And you like people that has housing allowances. So what does your operation look like right now? Like, are these in Sacramento? Are they in Florida? Where are you at?
I'm big. I'm really big, and I promote clustering. It brings in a lot of efficiencies. So I cluster. We have 29 units in 29 doors in Sacramento, and I'm responsible for the marketing of all of them. And my business now looks like some with my wife. So we have an LLC with that. Some with Easy Corporate Housing. That's my corporate housing business. And then my S Corp, no, excuse me. My LLC with my wife, we partner with different people as well into different things. So but I'm responsible for marketing all of those things and keeping them filled.
Are there
my thing.
websites? I think you kind of went over it a little bit, but like how there's Airbnb, VRBO, is there stuff like that you use?
So one important thing is your company website, of course, you need that. And then we create a website, a web page for every single unit. So every unit has its own web page. If we want to talk to you about Vive, we send you a link to that, and it has everything on it. So that's the key. If you want to be able to get direct bookings, and if you're talking to somebody that you're meeting at an HR, you're trying to talk to that company about housing for them, you want to share a link to a one-page website so that they can look at your unit. You don't want to share your Airbnb link.
Of course.
You don't want to share a link to anything else.
Yep.
You want them a one-page dedicated website to just that unit so that they can share and that they can stay focused, and you can answer all their frequently asked questions and really give them the experience of what you're talking about. That's the magic pill. That's it. That's the magic right there.
So real quick, Al, what about pricing? So how do you price these units to the market? Because it's not short term, it's not long term. So how do you find that pricing mix?
I mean, that's a great question. Now, these extended stay hotels, those are the folks I compete against. They've done all the work. They've done all the work for me. They've done all the work for me. They set up this whole envelope. I know the low end, I know the high end, and they set up that envelope. So typically to get started, you want to come in less than the low end. You want to maybe be 10% less than the low end of it. And then you know for sure that you're going to pick up some, if you can become findable and you're saving people money and giving them more, is a no-brainer then.
Okay, so you just undercutting the market, getting started.
Undercutting the market and providing more value. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's another thing, there's more layers of it. I'm going to get into that especially on Wednesday, when people are out for a month or longer, they get lonely. So there's an emotional side that you have to address for travelers. They want to get connected to the community. So as a housing solution provider, you want to make it easy for them to know where to go, where the locals go, and what to do. So that's something that the extended stay hotels just won't do. They'll give you a list of restaurants, but they won't try to answer that question and tell you, like, not what's around, but what's your favorite place? When you go there, what's the favorite thing that you like to eat there? So it's predicting what people need to make them feel connected to the community. That's it. Well, that's what's needed.
So you talk about, you got 29 doors, right? I'm just getting started. I don't got much money, man. How are you buying 29 doors, man? Like, what do I do? I'm just getting started, man. What's the key here?
Well, you start with one.
Okay.
You start with one and you learn the craft.
Okay.
Learn the craft. And from there, once you get that going, you just do your next one from there. And I'm a big fan of private money. And because these things, if you set them up correctly, you can break even within 10 to 12 months. And so get all your startup money back.
Yep.
Or get all or pay off your private lender in that period of time. And then they can give you that money back. You can, and the same money, you go take and set up another one. So learning the principles, learning the fundamentals, just like every sport, just like everything, take your time to learn the fundamentals, learn what the market is. This is a different animal than Airbnb, than people doing these short-term rentals. It's a different part of the hospitality industry altogether. It's not even it's different than landlording. When landlording is more adversarial, you and your tenant is kind of an adversarial setup. And this hospitality is the exact opposite. It's yes, hey, you want to do that? Yes, and this is how much it's going to cost. What you want to bring that? Okay, yes, and this is how much it's going to cost. So it's a very accommodating type of setup. So it's like, some people think that they're a great chef Marcus, you might be a great chef, know everything about cooking, but that doesn't mean you can run the produce section of the grocery store.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't mean everything about farming. There's these different segments. So that's what it's all about. And I love coaching people through that. That's my thing at this point. It's probably the most rewarding thing that I do.
Love it, man. So let's talk about you're coming out to Phoenix.
Oh yeah. Coming
So
soon.
So coming soon, Monday, November 14th, which is our 20th year anniversary. So we'd love to have everybody out there. We're actually doing a big charity drive for Maggie's Place, which helps single mothers with kids. So we're encouraging everyone to bring in some items that we have listed, and we're going to do a big raffle and everything else. So you'll be there to see all that. We're giving away a lot of experiences, TVs, and all this cool stuff. So it'll be a good time, man.
That's right on. I'm gonna buy up all the tickets.
No buying.
There you go.
Bring in charity gifts, so you got to hit the store and you get more tickets.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So Monday, November 14th, you're gonna be with us. So you're gonna do an educational piece for an hour at the event for us. So I'm very excited to have you. What's going on Monday? Like, what are you gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about the opportunity. I'm gonna show you about what's going on in your market by showing you what these different brands of extended stays are doing, what's going on there. And then I'm going to help you understand this whole thing about being how an investment banker would tackle this opportunity. Not an investor. How would an investment banker come about into your market and what they do? So because you have a great opportunity, and with that mindset, get people thinking.
Okay, so so you'll do that presentation in Phoenix on the 14th. Then we head to Tucson on the 15th, do the same presentation for our Tucson chapter. Then we're going to invite everyone back on Wednesday, the 16th, November 16th from 6 to 8 here at the office. And the headline here is A View from the New Frontier, Providing Housing Solutions for the Mobile Workforce. So what are we diving into on Wednesday night?
That's really coming in, understanding what people are looking for. What is this mobile workforce? Things have changed. And a lot of people aren't aware of it. When you got that laptop, that meant that you could work nearly anywhere, coffee shops or wherever, and you could be more mobile. And people who work off their smartphones. So businesses want people to go places now. And employees want to stay put and take care of their aging parents and things. So you got this crossroads of what's going on. That's the rise of the essential worker, rise of the mobile workforce. There's more and more of that. So understanding, so Mondays and Tuesdays, the opportunity you have, and then understanding what people want and what's going on in this post-COVID world, where the rules have just been blown up, right? During COVID, everything's blown up. So people they want location independence as part of their job description. And what does that mean? And employers want people to be mobile to take care of their clients. So what does that mean?
A lot of opportunity there.
There's a lot of opportunity there. So understanding that and the different audiences allows you to serve them in a way that allows them to save some of their housing allowance.
Oh, and do they get to keep that?
That's tax-free.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So we're going to overlap that. Wednesdays to overlap on that so that you can get that aha. This is what's going on. This is what's going on.
All right. So that's another strategy. That's how you're going to get more of the returning clients or people working with you if you're educating them how to make more money while they're staying at your place, right?
well, they're naturally traveling. The reason they're traveling is to make more money.
Yeah.
And you're just helping them. You're aligning yourself with them, and they see you as a big benefit.
All right. So that's Wednesday. Then Saturday, November 19th, 9 to 3 here at the office in Phoenix. How to generate passive income with or without owning rentals, so you can retire in 2 years. It's a big statement, Al. How are we going to do it? How are you going to show us?
Well, that's really the investment banker mindset.
Okay.
Because how much money does an investment banker use of their own money?
Zero.
They're in this world of abundance. Okay. So when you align yourself with people who want you, there's this pent up demand for you. And then there's so many clearly, I'm going to show you what's going on with your extended stay world, how many hotels there are. because they're there because the market's there. So I'm going to show you proof of this demand. And then I'm going to show you that people want to feel connected. They want to save money and they want to travel. And that's the opportunity. Now you can fund it with people who are losing buying power because their money's in the bank or they don't have very much of it. They don't have opportunities to grow their funds. So now you have a source of money, you got a source of client, and you got plenty of housing stock out there. I'm going to show you that as well. Just putting it all together, making it happen.
So since speaking of putting it all together, so that's Monday, November 14th, November 15th at our meetings, November 16th here at the office, November 19th, Saturday all day with us, put it all together and show us the extended stay business. I'm really excited for it, man. Are you going to be here in town this time?
Absolutely.
Are you really going to check your schedule?
Yes.
Check your schedule? All right.
Yeah, I'm in town. I'm not going anywhere. Anywhere. No time soon. So,
Cool.
Al, man, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being on today, and we look forward to your presentation coming up for the meeting here. So we're excited. I'm pretty sure the listeners are excited. So we welcome the opportunity to hear everything you got to say, because this is something new, it's something different, and we definitely see the benefit and the opportunity of it.
Right on. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So Al, how does someone get a hold of you if they want to talk to you in the meantime? Maybe online, social media. What do we do?
You can capture everything from me. You can grab all my stuff and some free giveaways, some of my books and some audios if you go to landlordscientist.com.
Easy. All
Yeah,
right.
landlordscientist.com. You're going to get some giveaways and you'll get on my list, and you'll have my email address, and you're all set.
If you want special treatment, tell them you're AZREIA member.
Please tell me you're AZREIA member.
Awesome, man. Well, hey,
All right.
thank you, man. Thanks for being here. I know you're busy. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And I'm sure we'll be in touch before then anyway.
All right, everybody. Signing off. Thank you for another successful episode of the AZREIA Show.
Take it easy.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Delprete. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.